Hey, welcome back, Chicago. You're listening to Get Down to Business, the show all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship. And we are thrilled to be joined by our resident real estate expert, and that is Laura Catrambone-Gerace from Coldwell Banker Stratford Place. Laura, welcome back to the program.
Oh, hey, great to be back.
Absolutely thrilled to have you. You are our resident subject matter expert on everything real estate, particularly in Chicago, but really just in general. So, Laura, what is the current state of the Chicago real estate market?
So currently, as in the month of August, it's always slow. It slows down because most people are taking their last trip, doing their last whatever for summer, getting kids ready back to school, yada, yada. So that's normal. It'll pick back up after Labor Day, but we're still in a seller's market, but you can also see that it's starting to level. We're starting to see more properties on the market, longer market times. So we're starting to inch back to real estate normal, if you will.
Okay. And we're in a seller's market. This is interesting, but definitely, again, it sounds like we're in that interesting time of year, interesting state of flux. And Laura, I know you keep tabs on everything real estate. I'm curious your perspective of how have interest rates impacted the market?
It's definitely put some buyers on the back burner. It's also changed some buyers' price range, right? Because now they don't qualify for as much. But I think what we're going to see is I do think we're going to see interest rates creep down. At least that's what the higher paid ups are projecting, that we're going to see interest rates come down and we're going to see like another surge. And I think that is going to happen right after Labor Day up until probably Halloween. We'll see like a big buyer surge, and then you'll see things start to level again. And of course, then you have the holidays, and then bam, we're into the spring market. And then, we'll see what happens with the election, all that sort of thing. People think that election years have affected real estate, but to be honest, if you look historically, it really hasn't.
Interesting. And Laura, that's why I love to have you on. You've got almost like a crystal ball on everything real estate. You've been doing this for so long, and I know I'm going to make my usual joke at the end of our time together when we give you the opportunity to share your contact details, because that will remind our listeners how much you know about everything real estate. And I'm really grateful for the times that we have every couple of weeks to check in on all things real estate. Once again, we're chatting with Laura Catrambone-Gerace from Coldwell Banker Stratford Place. And Laura, what are the hottest neighborhoods or areas for buyers and for investors?
So in this city, like the West Loop is hot. And I'll tell you where else it's hot. South Side, where Obama's library is going up. There's a lot of investors looking into multifamily units, even out of state investors that are looking into that area. You've got really low taxes, and they are projecting that place is just going to boom when the library is done. Of course, according to what I've heard, that library is going to take about another 2 years before it's completed.
That's great. Laura, that's fantastic insight into the Chicago market. And certainly I know you're following all the trends, which it's great. And we'll make sure, again, to get our listeners in touch with you, because I know you're always open to having a conversation, to give advice. Particularly, I know you are really passionate about helping first-time home buyers, because it's a really exciting opportunity and really exciting experience. And you have such a good forecast and insight into different neighborhoods, into the schools and everything. And you take their interests and their searches so personally as well. So I guess just as we come to a conclusion in our conversation over here, what opportunities do you see for first-time home buyers? Any words of wisdom or advice for them?
So there are some programs out there that are really helping the first-time home buyer get into a place. They're buy-down programs where you can get in at a lower interest rate, and you have that interest rate for 2 or 3 years, and then it adjusts to another interest rate. And what's good about that is there's a little famous saying that says, date the rate. So buy the house, backdate the rate. In other words, get in the house now when the prices are where they're at, because they're only going to go up. Don't worry as much about the interest rate. And when the interest rates get to a better place, just refinance.
That's great. Laura, you've shared so much expertise with us on this conversation. All of our prior conversations, of course, can be found on YouTube and wherever podcasts can be found. But Laura, my favorite part of the program is making sure that our listeners can get in touch with you because you have so much expertise and experience to draw upon. And that's evident in your contact details. So Laura, you know where I'm going with this. How can we get in touch with you?
So my cell phone, 708-212-4905. But here it is, my email, S like Sam, P like Peter, then Laura, Laura at AOL.com.
splaura@aol.com. And AOL, certainly you've been in this line of work, Laura, for quite a while. We're chatting with Laura Catrambone-Gerace from Coldwell Banker, Stratford Place, for all things real estate in Chicago and beyond. splaura at AOL.com. And of course, we'll link in our show notes as well. Laura, thank you as always for coming on and sharing such valuable insights with our listeners.
And always, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. A quick break here and get down to business. We've got a lot more small business jobs and entrepreneurship when we return in just a quick moment.